Now let the beat ride.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of High Chicago. It's the sports edition. So something we're really passionate about, me, Aaron, JV on the show specifically, are sports. We know not everybody in the audience digs sports, but this is going to be for our section of fans that fucks with sports heavy, right? I'm your boy, Shaun, kicking with my boy, Aaron, today. Aaron, how you feeling, bro? You good?
I am fantastic, and I'm ready.
So I remember last time you and I spoke during your interview, you had that nasty-ass Packers banner in your hand. It's still weak as shit, and I'll still wipe my ass with it, no problem. But I like you switching up for the sports theme. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thanks, bro. And it's fine. We continue to wax the fucking Bears every year.
Hey, listen.
30 years, bro. No, more than 30 years. 36 years, sir. Longer than you've been alive.
So it's not about the Bears. We're not talking about the Bears right now at all. It's got nothing to do with anything.
Anyway, yeah, it's fine. So
go ahead, bro. I want to talk about some current shit, right? Let's talk about the NBA. Let's talk about the bubble.
Let's knock this out.
Playoffs are around the corner. Actually, no, I lied. They're here. Shit, today, actually.
They are actually going on currently.
It's here. I never thought we'd see this day, but this day is like Christmas for your boy. I love the playoffs.
Yeah, and I love the playoffs too, man. It just it's when you finally get to see who is the best of the best in the NBA.
Facts.
It's something I'm looking forward to. But before we start on that, let's go ahead and hit on a bubble format, Shaun. Yeah, I know this sounds a little weird to you guys, but I'm actually going to do a lot of the hosting today.
Who, you?
Yes, me, the guy sitting here talking right now. Yeah. The success of this show is based solely on you guys. You got to let us know how you feel, what your feedback is, whether or not you like it, and that will sort of determine if we continue to do these or if maybe we just scrap this show idea altogether. But we're going to start off hitting on the the bubble format, and how we each feel about that. So I'll start it off. The bubble format was a good idea in theory because it does keep people separated from the outside world and sort of contracting COVID. So
wait, I hate your word already. You said it was and in theory.
Well, here's my issue with it, because they should have limited it even more. I know they tried to limit the amount of bubble teams. They should have limited it even more.
Okay, you don't want to see the Wizards play?
No, definitely don't want to see the Wizards play a single game. That's some of the teams, some of the other teams. I didn't want to see the Spurs in there at all, and I'm a Spurs fan. I knew they had zero chance. And then we had a team that literally won every single game, and it did not matter. So that's my problem with the way they did the bubble format. Not the actual idea of a bubble format. Mm-hmm. I thought that was fine. But the teams that they decided to invite, they sort of didn't make sense to me. All right? Because, again, Phoenix was so far behind. They were so far behind. They literally won every single game. They did what they thought would help them make it into the playoff game, the play-in game, should I say, and then all of a sudden they're just like, oh, we don't get a chance.
But the thing is, right, so as far as how many teams they should have had, I agree it was too many. They also should have probably did like 1 through 16 or 1 through 18 and let them fight for playoff seeding. Right. That's number one. But number two, yes, the Suns did what they had to do in the bubble, but prior to the bubble, the Suns weren't shit. They went on a run. Now, the Grizzlies won 2 out of 8 games. Had the Grizzlies lost all 8, then maybe, just maybe, the Suns would have made it. Actually, no, for a fact they would have made it. The issue is the Suns didn't do their job prior to the bubble, so that's on them.
I mean, that's fine, but it's also on the NBA for bringing them into this bubble.
Well, you had to get Zion in somehow, and so this kind of only made the most sense to get Zion in because they were like close in the seedings.
They wanted to make sure they got their new poster child, the guy who's going to take over for Braun once he gets out. I get that part of it, but I don't know. Just don't invite as many teams. So the play-in game itself, I think,
which the Suns didn't make.
Idea. Yeah, I think that's a good idea too, and it's something that they should probably look into doing at the end of seasons, that where the 8 and 9 seed in each conference, they have a play-in game, because there's sometimes where there's like 15 different tiebreaker options that sort of push the other team that has the exact same record as another team out of the playoffs. Right. And a lot of times it's not even about like they'll be head-to-head. If they're 2-2, it'll start going into sort of random stuff where it's like, oh, did your mother play in the league at some point in time? It's such random shit, right? And I like the idea of a playing game. I like the idea of a playing game. The NCAA
It's some
does
bullshit,
it.
but go ahead.
No, you don't like it?
I thought it was some bullshit, but I'll let you finish before I explain why.
Anyway, the NCAA does it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Also some bullshit, but go ahead.
So whatever. I think the NBA should sort of try to adopt that as an actual format that goes forward. Now, Shaun, how do you feel about it?
So, Aaron, sir, I think it's some bullshit. Here's why. Because the teams only had to be within 4 games of one another. Not only, but that's a lot. 4 games within one another to go to the play-in game, which is weird.
Right.
So if I have a 4-game advantage on you, I'd have to play you for my spot that I clearly earned because I have a better record than you have. Is it cool for revenue? Is it cool for fans? I'm sure it is. But if I'm 4 games better than you, why the hell do I have to play you for anything?
Well, Shaun,
if it's a tiebreaker scenario, percentage wise or whatever, all right, that makes sense. But other than that, it makes 0 sense to me.
Well, Shaun, I'm gonna disagree with you on that actually,
No
because
problem.
here's the thing. You're saying a team that got off to a hot start and that starts to lose, and they get to the point where they're within 4 games of that 9th seed.
4 games.
They're the 8th seed, 4 games, which is I'll admit it is a lot of games. It's a lot of games. Probably some like 2 games would probably be a much better.
If it's 1 playing game or 2 playing games, all right, bet. Whatever that number is, then that's how much distance can be between the 2 teams.
Right. I mean, and that's fine. But here's the thing: there's a lot of teams that limp into the playoffs. I should hit what team I want to hit on. It was Kobe's last year it was the year with Dwight when it was him, Dwight, and
Steve
Nash. Yeah, they limped into the playoffs.
That wasn't his last year. That was
I'm saying his last year with
them
in the playoffs. That was his last year in the playoffs.
Gotcha.
But it's a team like that should have had a play-in game.
Okay.
Because it was very apparent that they were going to get swept. There was no question in anyone's mind that they were going to get swept. And I don't remember who the 9th seed was, but I'm pretty sure the 9th seeded team was actually better than that team. I want to say it was Denver, but I cannot remember. It was like,
I don't know.
But it's a crazy. I think
it's a cool concept. I'm not like the old man saying don't do new shit, right? I like the new shit. Just make it make sense. And a 4-game gap doesn't make sense. Now, the Grizzlies got smacked by Portland in that play-in game that we're talking about, which we all saw coming on top of that.
Yeah. It didn't seem like Memphis was ready, truly. And I don't –
Nah. Shout out to John Morant, though.
Yeah, John Morant looked good in that game. John Morant definitely looked good in that game. And I look forward to what he does in the league.
Rookie of the year, for sure. No problem. But Dame is on another level right now. So – and Dame scares me. We'll talk about a prediction in a minute, but like I'm a big Lakers fan, and I'm slightly scared of the Blazers. I'm not even gonna front.
Hey, you talking about the bubble MVP there, man? You're talking about the best player in the bubble. Yeah, Dame won it, man. Let me run down these first team and second team for the bubble, and I want you to give your thoughts on who actually made it on the team. So you got Devin Booker. Makes sense. Luka Doncic, who's been playing like an MVP. Damian Lillard, who's been playing like an MVP. James Harden. And the walking bucket himself, TJ Warren.
TJ Warren. Man. I didn't know he still had braids, bro. That's random, but like shout out to TJ Warren for being a real one. Him and Kawhi, only real ones left on this planet.
For sure. But yeah, that's an interesting mix of names because you look at the first 4, those are all-stars, and then you see TJ Warren there, and it's like, oh, what was he doing? Well,
that's what I love about the bubble in general, bro. Is like people stepped up that you didn't expect. Teams went on runs that you didn't expect. Like that shit was fucking awesome watching TJ Warren drop 50 in a game. You know what I'm saying? Average 30 a game for the damn bubble. Like that's dope as shit for somebody who's been not underrated kind of number one, but also hasn't played up to expectation as far as a scoring role goes.
Yeah, I definitely call him underrated because he was traded for cash. So they also got this man for money. So he's definitely underrated. But no, I like that aspect of it too. Like I watched a few highlights today, and it's more like it seems to have a faster pace. I don't know what it is within this sort of bubble format that makes people want to play a little bit faster and sort of get the offense going. Yeah. But it's been pretty exciting from that perspective. Like there's like 140-point games out here, and that's just the regular. right? It's not like where, if we can go back to a time when we were younger, the early 2000s, where people were not scoring at all.
It
You
was
had
80 to
games,
84 and shit.
yeah, it's like ridiculous. But now we see the game, even the game today between Utah and Denver, that was 125 to 135. Like, offense is on full display.
Facts.
And that's the best thing about this bubble format, I think.
And it
So,
makes for entertaining product, for sure.
for sure. All right. So you hit on it earlier. So we're going to talk about the playoffs and the seeding and who we think are going to make it to the finals and who we think is going to win. So we'll start with the finals. We'll start with your pick for the finals.
All right. So I'm going to give who I want to make it, and then I'll give you a sleeper.
Okay. I
Both
like
conferences. That. All right. So who I think is going to make it, naturally, I got to rock with my Lakers. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I got to rock with Bron. I got to rock with AD. My concern is the depth, right? Because after those two, you got Kuzma maybe as your 3 option, but Kuzma's too hot and cold for me.
Mm-hmm.
Playoff Ronald's coming back, so that's a plus. But I don't trust anybody on their bench, really, other than Kuzma. J.R. Swish can get hot and cold, obviously. Deion Waiters, hot and cold, obviously. Dwight Howard, shell of himself, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, he's not the
so I don't know if they have the depth to hang out with the Clippers type, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I need Bron to do this shit for several reasons. I want Bron to get his 4. We got to do it for Kobe, if nothing else.
Do it for Kobe.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the storyline that's going to make 2020 not suck any further.
Right.
Is the Lakers winning some shit for the Black Mamba. That'd be raw as fuck. And then a team that people shouldn't sleep on, please don't sleep on the Denver Nuggets.
You're going with the Nuggets.
Please don't sleep on the Nuggets, right? They are stacked. Starting at the top 3 with Jokic, Murray, and Michael Porter Jr., who the Bulls should have dropped the ball on.
Yeah, everybody dropped the ball on that in the lottery, man. He fell to the 14th pick, so
I'm watching them today, bro, and while the defense isn't great, offensively they play beautiful. And the fact that all the big men are skilled enough passers, scorers, and rebounders makes them dangerous. But Jamal Murray took over in the fourth quarter in overtime today, trading buckets with Spider Mitchell. The Nuggets can make some noise. I don't see them getting past the Clippers, but if they did, it wouldn't shock me.
Okay.
So give me the Lakers as my pick, but the Nuggets as my surprise out west.
Okay.
What you got for the West?
So my West is the same. I said this earlier, and if you guys haven't actually watched our other episodes, I do talk about the NBA being back and LeBron winning his 4th ring. So it's definitely the Lakers for me.
Not the Clippers. With all that depth.
Nope. It's the Lakers for me, man. I think LeBron he's rested enough at this point to where he's fresh. And he's going to go into these playoffs with only one thing in his mind, his legacy. And his legacy is probably the most important thing to him. He's never going to pass Jordan only because of all the losses he's had in the finals. He's never going to be able to, in the minds of a lot of NBA fans, pass Jordan. But him winning a 4th ring would put him in that upper tier, which he already should be in. But to a lot of NBA fans, championships mean everything. So him getting that 4th championship will sort of really help him, and I think he'll make it to the finals. And what happens there will depend on who his opponent is.
And we also cannot downplay the relationship that Bron and Kobe had, right?
For sure.
So I know that's an extra chip on LeBron's shoulder. Not that he needed an extra chip, but it's there. And he's probably talking about that shit every day in the locker room. Right, and that's gonna bring the rest of his teammates up and elevate their game. Not to be on Bron's level, right? Because no one's really on Bron's level, but at least for them to bust their ass, game in, game out, right? Doing it for Bron, doing it for the Mamba, doing it for LA. To me, that's a storybook. That's a storybook ending right there. If we can get the Lakers to win that championship. So as far as your sleeper team goes, who you got?
So here's the thing: I was gonna choose the Rockets, but there's a problem. Russell Westbrook's not going to play for at least 3 games.
I wanted this series, by the way. Like, I was praying that we got OKC versus Houston. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my actual sleeper, it's probably OKC. Given that they're probably making it out of the first round. Now they're probably going to run into a buzzsaw with the Lakers. But I think what they have in that backcourt is too much for most teams to handle. And when you have, what is it, Rondo and, goddamn it, I can't remember the
KCP.
two guard. KCP, that's right.
Right.
When you have those two and they're going to have to contend with Shai Gilgeous and Chris Paul,
yeah,
it's a little too much.
Also, Chris Paul should be league MVP, but go ahead.
Chris Paul should be – hey, I can understand that, man. He went to a team that was left for dead and made it to the playoffs.
Carried them young boys to the playoffs, bro.
For sure.
Not just made it to the playoffs, so like some 8 seed, 9 seed playing game type shit.
They're 5th seed right now.
And nobody saw that coming at the end of the season. Go ahead.
No.
I'm sorry, before the season started.
Now, I know depth is probably a huge issue for OKC, but I think Shai and Chris Paul could probably carry this team as far – sorry. This team will go as far as Shai and Chris Paul can take them. All right? So let's hear your East picks.
Wait, hold up. Before that, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So you're telling me that if OKC upset the Lakers in the second round, like you wouldn't be shocked at all? I'll be fucking stunned.
I'm not saying I wouldn't be shocked. I'm saying there's a scenario where it possibly could happen.
You're wrong. I just want to say that right now.
Okay.
I just want to say you are 100% wrong.
Okay.
They'll be lucky if they go 5 games, but I like the gumption you had to say that.
That's fine. All right, anyway.
Go ahead.
Who are your East picks, man?
First of all, the East is ass.
Okay.
Milwaukee. No.
No,
I
it's not just them.
I don't like Milwaukee. So I got Boston coming out of the East, personally.
Okay.
I want to see young Tatum cook. I want to see Kemba get some shine. The depth that they have is actually pretty underrated to me, right?
Yeah.
So I love the way Gordon Hayward's playing. Jaylen Brown's been a beast. Marcus Smart will lock up anybody. I love the way the Celtics have been playing in the bubble and leading up to the playoffs. They're actually about to win. Looks like game 1 against Philly right now. So I want to see Boston come out of the East. And I would love to see another Boston-LA championship matchup, right? Old school, classic. Let's get that again. So that's my pick. My sleeper team, which I don't even know why people consider them a sleeper still, would be Toronto. Right? They lose Kawhi, they lose Danny Green, and they act like that never happened. Yeah. They're the 2 seed in the East, which is crazy, right? They won today. They beat the dog shit out of the Nets.
Yes, they did.
The dog shit out of the Nets. Siakam is, in my opinion, you can make a case for being a top 15 player in the league.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry is steady.
I think Kendrick Perkins did that exact thing.
Made him a top 15 player.
Yeah.
People don't give Fred Van Vliet enough flowers.
That man had a star turn in that damn game. Today?
Tonight? Or today? Yeah.
Yeah, that man put up
Van
30.
Vliet is a fucking stud. And what's crazy is, I want to say it was 2 off seasons ago, he re-signed with Toronto for 2 years, $18 million. And that was the same offseason my dumbass Bulls signed Jabari Parker for 2 years, $40 million.
What
same
a fantastic contract. One of the best contracts.
But Van Vliet is a dog. Okay?
Absolutely.
So I would love to see Toronto make it back to the finals. It would throw everybody off. But shout out to Siakam, Lowry, and Van Vliet for doing the damn thing, carrying them. Nick Nurse is the best coach in the NBA right now, other than Greg Popovich. And I'll fight you if you tell me I'm wrong.
That's fine. That's
okay.
Fine. I'm fine with that.
But yeah, so that's what I got coming out the East, bro. Boston and then sleeper Toronto. What you got?
So your sleeper, actually. I have them coming out the East. I do. I do. If you would have watched that game, the Nets were overmatched.
Well,
but they looked like – it wasn't like they looked like a team, another NBA team that was overmatched. No, they looked like a bunch of high school kids who had no clue what was going on out there. They were up by like 35 at the half, man.
Mm-hmm.
That team is too overwhelming, and they probably have the best starting lineup in the league right now. Plain and simple.
So you said the best starting 5?
Yeah.
In the league, you said?
Yeah, in the league.
In the Eastern Conference League or in the entire NBA?
In the entire NBA.
So the Clippers just fell off the face of this planet, is what you're saying?
Name the Clippers starting 5 right now.
All right, fucking Zubac.
You've lost already.
Hang on. That's the center, right?
But that's
you got PG, Kawhi, You got Pat Bev, and I want to say they start Landry Shamet at the 2.
So that's the best starting 5 in your opinion.
You
Not
have
the
two.
starting 5. Hold on.
You have 2 All NBA players.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 All Defensive players.
Mm-hmm. Those
So,
are both the same players. This is the same place. This is the same.
Right, okay, bet. So
but
that's
those are the
wrong.
same
They're
2
wrong on
players.
both ends. But they're wrong on both ends.
That's fine. But you're literally looking at a team that they're starting Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, which I told you just put up 30. And the man was playing amazing in the last playoffs.
So Pat Bev put the clamps on him. Go ahead.
Okay, so who's guarding Kyle Lowry? Not a soul. And then, my good sir, you get to Pascal Siakam.
Okay.
You're gonna put him against George. You're gonna put him against.
I'm gonna put Kawhi on him.
You gonna put Kawhi on him?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then now you see the team that I've already constructed. Those are 3 amazing players who actually beat whoever the 3 worst are on your side.
Please don't call Kyle Lowry amazing, but go ahead.
Okay, fine, whatever.
You got the Raptors coming out the East. I'm sorry, y'all. Aaron's drunk as shit.
Serge Ibaka is playing the 4. He's not washed. He's good for his current role, and he definitely provides defense. Don't forget, this was the best defense pre-bubble. All right? No other team. It was this team that was the best defense pre-bubble. I got all these all-NBA and clamps, all of this. No. Mm-hmm. This was the best defense pre-bubble. I don't want you to forget that. Okay? And then you got Marc Gasol.
Washed.
You got Marcus. First of all, no, he's not. Did you watch the game today?
I was at work. I couldn't.
Okay. No, the man is not washed.
Also, anything they do against the Nets, let's temper that excitement.
I guess. Yeah, when Garrett Temple is your best player, or Timothy Luwawu Cabarro, whatever, however you pronounce his name.
Shout out to Joe Harris. You know what I'm saying?
He was the top scorer today. Timothy Luwawu Cabarro. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that shit. But I do think they have the best starting lineup in the league, and that defense is overwhelming.
So I smell a bet coming on because I got Boston coming out the East, and you got Toronto coming out the East, and they'll play in the second round. So we'll revisit this if it comes to fruition in round 2, and we'll make some sort of wager for sure.
Okay, for sure.
Who's your sleeper?
My sleeper, and it sounds disrespectful as shit. It's probably the Sixers. Even without Ben Simmons, I do think the team is still pretty talented. Yeah, I don't like your Celtics pick. How's that sound? I don't like your Celtics.
But my pick makes sense. Your Sixers pick makes no sense at all. So please educate us on why the Sixers are going to come out of the Eastern Conference and not the Bucks, the Celtics, or the Raptors, or the Pacers.
I didn't say that. I said they're a sleeper, sir. I said they're a sleeper. They're a sleeper. Don't get me wrong.
I'm knocked the fuck out. I'm knocked out.
But keep in mind, other than Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's the best player in the East? Who's the best player in the East?
For me, it would be Tatum.
You think Tatum?
Don't say Joel Embiid.
It is Joel Embiid. He is definitely the best player in the East.
I hear you talking.
He's definitely the second best player in the East, man.
I would take Giannis, Tatum, and Jimmy G.
Wow.
Before I take always injured Embiid. But go ahead.
Okay. I mean, I guess if you consider availability and ability, I can understand your point. But healthy, all these players healthy, it's Giannis, then it's Embiid.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Anyway, that's why I choose them, because in any series besides a Bucks series, they have the best player.
Okay.
And a lot of times, that's all that really matters in a series. All right.
Okay, bet. So you got Joel Embiid, okay? And then who's he going to after that? Tobias Harris? Is he going to Shake Milton?
Anyway, it's probably Tobias Harris.
But they're coming out the East as your sixth pick.
Which hurts them. But first of all, we've seen come on, Shaun. You were around in 2007, were you not?
Okay, where are we going with this?
You were around in 2007. I want you to name me the other 4 starters on that 2007 Cavaliers team. Okay?
You can't compare the two because they have LeBron James.
If you can have the best player in a series. If you tell me that
right now.
But it was 22-year-old LeBron James. Let's not pretend like it's
still amongst the top 3 players in the league.
He wasn't even an MVP at that point.
But he was amongst the top. Give me top 5 in the league for sure at that point. For sure at that point, top 5 in the league.
Anyway.
Joel Embiid is not.
What I'm saying is, I mean, shit, he might be. If he was healthy, I would put him amongst the top 5, maybe top 10 players in the league.
We're
You
gonna
are
revisit
hating.
that. We're gonna revisit that in a
You're,
second. So wait, hold
you're
on, yeah, because
hating on him
my
so much.
my brain hurts trying to process the bullshit coming out of your mouth right now.
Why are you hating
So
on Embiid so much, bro? I don't understand it. Is it just health?
I'm not hating on Embiid because Embiid is a dog. I'm hating on your thought process behind the Sixers being a sleeper pick to come out of the East, and I'm hating on your thought process behind Joel Embiid being a top 5 player in the NBA. Those statements you made are asinine.
Jumping out.
Both of them.
So where would you put him?
In as far as players in the league go,
Yeah.
all right, Bron, AD, Kawhi, KD. Give me Dame, Harden, Luka.
KD hasn't played. Did you forget that? KD hasn't played a single minute this season. You can't count 2 people. Again, hasn't played. Don't count people who haven't played this year. Steph played 10 games or something like that. That's not no.
So listen.
We're not going to go off past performance. Let's go off how they're playing this season.
Here's the thing, right? I'll give you top 20.
Oh, my God.
And we'll do our top 20 list at one of these episodes in the future. But right now you're spewing bullshit, and I've almost had enough of it. So why, again, are the Sixers going to be the sleep team coming out of the East other than Embiid? Give me something else.
That's all I have for that team. Okay, I told you. That's why they're a sleeper. Because, Hell no. You can have the best player in a series. You can always have a chance in a series. That's just how it works.
Okay.
Anyway, let's stop. Fair enough. We're gonna go on. We can go on this for a long time, and I'm not about to go back and forth with you on Joel Embiid's credentials, man. So, who do you have as your champion?
It's got to be Bron. It has to be, right? I want the Lakers over the Celtics. Give me 7 games though. Give me a 7-game riveting ass series that's gonna have me on the edge of my seat.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I want to see Tatum break out and become a top 10 player in the league. In that series, I want to see Kemba get some shine, but I want to see AD do the damn thing, and I want to see AD actually win Finals MVP.
Okay,
that would be raw as fuck to me. And then again, we do it again for Black Mamba. Rest in peace.
All right.
But that's what I want to see: Lakers over Celtics in 7.
All right, yeah, it's also my pick, but it'd be over obviously the Raptors because that's who I chose.
In 7.
No, I think it'd be a lot quicker than that, honestly. Okay. I think it'd probably be in 5 or 6.
Okay.
And I think that we're going to see where the top of these rosters sort of take over in these series, where you'll see Pascal Siakam. He'll first of all, the man was amazing this season, but you'll see him probably average about a 30-piece. Because if you remember that last
against
season,
AD,
he wouldn't be guarded by AD. He'd
yes,
probably be guarded by LeBron. Why would he be guarded by AD?
Because he's not going to guard Gasol. The hell are you talking about? Gasol's going to be guarded by JaVale or fucking Dwight.
You know Pascal plays the 3, right?
I don't give a shit what position he's playing on the floor. I know that he's their best offensive player, and he's a big man, and I know that AD is going to guard their best offensive player. Go ahead.
Anyway, and I think that Kyle Lowry, who you disrespected just earlier.
Who LeBron will guard.
LeBron will guard. That's first of all, that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
For whom?
That's dangerous for them. Because then, anyway, I'm not gonna get into this with you. Because
what you mean?
These are such weird matchups you have. Because then, who's guarding VanVleet?
Playoff Rondo.
Playoff Rondo is gonna get smashed by this guy. This guy who's 3 inches shorter than him.
Listen. If we have to live and die by VanVleet, then that's fine. We'll survive.
You saw him last finals, right?
I did. That was some bullshit. But go ahead.
Oh, some bullshit. No, that was him absolutely out there shooting the lights out, man.
Okay,
went from
problem.
Undrafted player to stud. It's crazy.
Stud.
Yeah, but obviously I think the Lakers are going to overwhelm them. They're going to overwhelm them. I don't think there's a matchup for Kuzma. There's not a matchup really for AD. You can put a buck on him, but it's probably not going to work.
It's going to be nasty.
I think the best matchup will be, because I don't know why you think that AD is going to guard him, but Pascal versus LeBron. I think that's going to be the best matchup in that series. It.
Well, they're going to – so LeBron is still a stud offensively and defensively. But if LeBron can reserve some energy defensively, the Lakers are going to do that because they're going to rely on him so much offensively to carry the load along with AD. So, yeah, let's put him on weak-ass Kyle Lowry. AD potential defensive player of the year, you go ahead and do your thing against Siakam. That's just in my mind how Frank Vogel's going to let that shit play out.
Okay. And that's fine. I understand your point there, man. But I just don't think it's going to play out that way. I do still think it's going to be Raptors versus Lakers in 6.
Okay.
All right.
Now, is there going to be an asterisk for you if whoever wins the title?
So here's the craziest thing. I've seen so many takes that's like, well, if LeBron wins this, it's going to be an asterisk, or if such and such wins this, there should be an asterisk on this. And I think that's wrong, mainly because this is a different situation that no one's ever had to deal with.
Facts.
And it should be, in effect, the most difficult playoffs for any player because it's always going to be on a neutral site. You're never going to get
but that's such a big deal, bro. I feel like people don't make that a big enough deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That makes these playoffs even more interesting. In fact, that there's no crowds, nobody has the electricity of the Staples Center or of any sort of arena whatsoever. But like that's a big deal.
Exactly. That no home court advantage kills any sort of advantage any team would have had. Like the Lakers have the first seed, but are they really the first seed? They're the first seed by virtue of who they get to play, but they're not the first seed by virtue of where they're going to play at. So
they got better hotel accommodations, whatever that's worth.
That's fine.
That's about it.
But yeah, I think it should. This is going to be the most difficult the most difficult playoffs that there should not be an asterisk attached to it. But the worst part about it is, in the court of public opinion, there probably will always be an asterisk attached to it.
And I hate that, bro, because it doesn't make any sense. They had a 4-month layoff, right? You got teammates opting out, right, because of health concerns or whatever reason you opt out, right? So now everybody's not at full strength. Had the season continued, like you said, everything's on a neutral court, right? But other than those factors, right, because everything is so even, how could there possibly be an asterisk behind any of it? You still got to go out. You still got to fucking play defense. You still got to score. You still got to fucking out-coach the other team. So why would there be any sort of asterisk around it at all?
And that's the craziest part about it, but it's going to happen. You just know it's going to happen. They already put the most important players on bronze pass teams on memes on like his finals MVP trophies or his finals trophies. They always do that and give them any reason. They're going to put the fucking COVID, the little COVID, I guess, germ on the fucking trophy, and it's going to look ridiculous, but it's going to always be there. People are going to always talk about it. You're going to see, like, in 10 years or some people like, hey, you remember when Bron won that bullshit-ass bubble playoff?
Nah, no, I'm not going to respect that.
No,
respect for anybody with that opinion.
Like, and one thing that we didn't talk about, Avery Bradley opted out of this one. That man could have been
their best perimeter defender.
Yeah, absolute asset in this damn playoffs as a defender, man. And they're not going to have that. They, like you said, that's why I couldn't remember who fucking 2 was, because I think it was supposed to be Avery Bradley, and it ended up being KCP, which, sure. There's a man who's collected the bag for the last 4 years.
I swear to God. I swear to God, bro.
But yeah, I don't think there should be, but there will be. That's sort of my answer to that question.
If anybody who watches this thinks there's going to be an asterisk around this championship or there should be one, please tell me so I can give you this smoke. Because I can promise you you're wrong. And I'll tell you why you're wrong to your face in the comment section. I don't give a damn. Don't do that to anybody who wins this championship. This is the hardest championship these players have ever had to endure.
Exactly.
So let's respect that for what that is. So man, it's a good talk, bro. So let's go ahead and wrap things up, man. So let's do this again. I think we should have like guests galore because we fuck with people that fuck with sports pretty heavy, like my friends, your friends. Sure. We talk about football season coming up. We can talk about baseball, soccer,
you can
basketball.
Talk about baseball. You can talk about baseball.
I'll eventually drag you into this baseball world because
baseball's
a shit. You're tripping. But football's starting soon, man. We're gonna touch on football heavy.
Oh yeah, I cannot wait. I want to see what it sort of looks like because I'm not 100% sure what it's gonna look like. Some teams are selling tickets, some aren't. So it'll be weird.
And training camps are going on right now, so like it's a lot we can dive into. So anyways, this is High Chicago, the sports edition. If you guys like it, hit the like button, leave comments. If you aren't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you want to hop on and talk sports with us, please hop on. But until next time, Chicago, peace out.
Peace.